one. I never knew how Puerto Rico was. I heard it was wild. Frenchie had told me, but I didn't know how wild it was. So we arrived there on Thursday. Went down to the office on Friday morning. Went down to the office. We arrived there on Friday. Went down to the office during Friday. We're starting in Caguas, one of the worst towns, on Saturday night. Now, this is in the old building in Caguas. I think it only held, 5,000, 4,000. The new building inside building holds 8,000, doesn't it? The building in Caguas. Anyhow.
I think it fits around 8,000 to 10,000
Yeah.
converted, yeah.
Yeah, because the old building only hit about 4 or 5, 3, 4 or 5, somewhere in that thing. Carlos said, your main event tonight, working against, we've done a lot of promotion on you because he got footage and all that sort of stuff. And you could still, Puerto Rico, you could steal footage and put it up because people in the rest of the country, US, wouldn't see it. If Crockett saw it, they would go crazy, because they'd see what was going on in USA, but you'd never see what was going on in Puerto Rico. And that was Whopper TV. Anyhow, he said, I'm going to be in the lobby. This TV shows, a wrestling show started at 8:30 in Puerto Rico. He said, I'm going to be in the lobby from 7:30 to 8 o'clock, 8:15 signing photos for fans when they come in to buy tickets. He says, I've already advertised it last week that people buying tickets can get a free photo from me signing. So, him saying that, and you know how he was those days, he was the god, he was the Hulk Hogan of Puerto Rico, right? Yeah. This is 80, 81, or 80, and that, 80. He was he was that. So he said, I want you to come in and do some damage, and heavy damage. Don't worry about the fans. I'll have security sitting there. Sorry.
That's okay, pal. We're live.
Yeah, so he said to me, I'll be in the lobby signing photos. Come in and do some damage. Well, we're already a wild team. I had Butch on a chain. It was Sweet William and the Brute when I first come over the seas. So I had him on a dog chain, and he was wild. And there was Beauty and the Beast gimmick, but we sort of I dropped the Beauty, and I became wild too. In Canada. So and in North America for Crockett. So we got a guy. We come into the lobby. Now we've got a flagpole. It stands about. You saw it in the video. It was about 5 foot long, or 6 foot long. Had the flag on the top part, and it had a knuckle in the middle where you could unscrew it. Yep. And it was steam pipe. In those days, it wasn't copper like we had made later. It was steam pipe, and but we learned how to work with it, not kill people. You know how heavy steam pipe is, right?
It is. It is really heavy.
We come into the lobby and Carlos was there, and we couldn't see him. There's a big around the table. There's a few people. Then the line went this way. We come in the lobby. We saw it. We unscrewed the pipe and that because we pulled it out of the bag. Unscrewed it, and we went into him, and we started beating him up. And of course, the blood went all over the walls, all over the place, all over the table. He did a hell of a job. The blood was everywhere. I don't know whether the people know now down there about the blade.
They actually know about that now. Before it wasn't known.
But they do know. Should I talk about it or should I cut that out?
Yeah, you can talk about it. Yes, of course. You feel comfortable. So.
No, he might like it. He might like it, and I'm asking him to do something for a book. Anyhow, we came in there, and Carlos told from the office. Carlos said, "Come in and cause havoc and bloody lay me out." So we came in and laid it, more or less, caused havoc and did a hell of a job on him. There was blood everywhere, around the walls, around everywhere. They called the security blocked them off after a while, and they called for an ambulance. Butch and me grabbed our stuff, or our bag carrier, and they took us to the locker room. Usually when you come to the arena, you drive around the back and go in the back door. But this time we came through the front. Now the people had never seen us, apart from some footage he'd put on of us on television, you know, from the Carolinas, wherever he got footage, you know, maybe from Stu Hart, because he knew Stu Hart. He worked in Stu Hart's territory too, you know, when I was there, way back in the early 70s. You know, so I don't know where he got footage, but anyhow, we came in and did the damage and that. That night, the wrestling card started. Blah, 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 went through all the matches. Last match, the main event. People know the rumor's gone out now right through the crowd that Carlos was taken out in an ambulance and what damage we had done. You know how the fans, blah, 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 blah. So it had gone right through. It had gone right through the audience. And that. So when we come out, they were sort of a white hot. You know what I mean? They didn't know what to do, but we had heat. I didn't know whether we had drawing heat yet to full arenas. Of course, they hadn't seen us. We didn't have that kind of heat, but we had heat there that night. Invader come out, made a speech, and all the boys, you know, one of them said, you know, come out and yelled out, you know, we'll come out and help you. And he says, no, this is a personal matter. I take care of my business. You know how Invader says?
Yeah.
I take care of my business. In his accent. And so we start the match. Of course, we cut him off. He shines. Tag Butch in. He fucking cuts him off. He shines. We switch back and forth. He keeps shining. And then we come in, double teamed him, and we get the heat. And now we wouldn't sit in. We were a tag team that would switch all the time. We wouldn't give the babyface a breather. You know what I mean? We'd beat him up, cover him, kick out, tag, hold him, tag. And the other guy beat him up, you know, cover him, tag, you know, hold him down, and always beat them up near our corner. If he worked us over and started sliding over the ring, we would do something nasty and drag him back near our corner. We never got the baby faces get too far out of the corner because we wanted to tag all the time. And he would fucking break away and crawl to the corner. But there was no one there to tag, you know what I mean? Thinking tag match wise, and of course he was a big tag man. With Carlos and Invader 3, Invader 2 first, and Invader 3, he'd been in tags most of his life. So it was a common sense for him to crawl. So he was crawling over there, and we'd drag him back and beat him up. Now, he's bleeding. And you know the white mask? Blood's coming through the white mask. And this final time, we start beating him up really bad, really, really bad. And the doors on the side of the building, I think there was doors, I'm not sure, where the ambulances drove into the arena, and Carlos hopped out of the passenger side carrying a 4x2 or a baseball bat, and Invader made the break, tagged him in the corner. Carlos was all wrapped up with blood coming through the bandages, comes to that ring with that 4x2 and cleans house. Now, we didn't let him get too much beating. We took about 3 or 4 shots each and got out of Dodge. We didn't satisfy the people all the way. But when Carlos came in and started singing it, we never heard this before. Woo! Woo! From all the people. You know how the Puerto Rico people...
Wah! Wah! Wah!
Yeah.
Hey! Wah! One more time.
Hey! Wah! Now, this is going wild. So we fed him a bit more than usual because we kept hearing it like that. And then we jumped out. So we retained some of our heat. Now, I don't remember if he walked in the front door all wrapped up and the people started cheering for him as he made his way to the ring, or he drove in an ambulance, and got out. Because I know in one place he did drive in an ambulance, you know what I mean? And then he cleaned our clock. That was our first night in Puerto Rico.
Wow.
We made a hell of an impact.
Pausa. No me olvido de ustedes. Vamos a hablar de la primera noche de Luke Williams, el Bushwhacker, integrante del Salón de la Fama en Puerto Rico. Él no tenía idea de cómo era Puerto Rico, simplemente sabía que era algo alocado. Entonces llega a su primera lucha un viernes en Caguas, uno de los peores lugares en aquel momento dado para luchar, porque el público era fuerte, era difícil, y en aquel momento dado tener 5,000 personas en una arena era una cosa mala. Entonces podía en aquel momento dado transmitir y darle hype a esos luchadores que iban a estar trayendo al exterior con videos del extranjero. Ellos utilizaron el video de la NWA, la empresa a la cual ellos renunciaron para darle promoción a ellos en Puerto Rico, en la WWC. En aquel momento dado los Crockett estaban pendientes de lo que pasaba en Estados Unidos, pero ¿quién rayos iba a estar fiscalizando lo que pasaba en Puerto Rico? Si se descubría en aquel momento se iba a formar algo chévere, algo malo, pero nunca se enteraron. En ese entonces, tú comprabas un boleto y te incluía una firma una foto firmada por alguno de los talentos. Pues en aquel momento dado, en el primer evento de ellos, estaban los Bushwhackers, los pastores de Nueva Zelanda, en Puerto Rico, en el lobby de Caguas, firmando fotos como cualquier persona. Y por allí llegaba Carlos Colón, el equivalente a Hulk Hogan en Puerto Rico, la superestrella más grande que ha pisado Puerto Rico. Y en aquel momento dado, el babyface más grande. Los pastores de Nueva Zelanda tenían una bandera con un asta. El asta en aquel momento dado era el material de mofle y no en cobre, o sea, era extremadamente sólido, así que tenías que cuidar que no mataras a alguien con eso en el transcurso. Y entonces Carlos estaba allí en el lobby y le dieron la paliza de su vida, lo dejaron ensangrentado, había sangre en las paredes, había sangre en todas partes. Una paliza fue lo que le dieron y la gente estaba endemoniada, estaban furiosas, atacaron a su héroe. Y ese rumor se llegó a todos los palcos, y una vez los pastores de Nueva Zelanda salían por esa cortina, el mundo entero quería arrancarles la cabeza a esa gente. Se enfrentaban al Invader número 1 y a Carlos Colón. Carlos ya no estaba, el Invader se mete al cuadrilátero y dice que él se va a encargar, porque yo me hago cargo de mis cosas y de mis asuntos, como bien decía el jibarito de San Lorenzo, porque los tenía en aquel momento dado extremadamente bien puestos, y el hombre que se trepara al cuadrilátero con él sabía que tenía que coger la paliza de su vida, porque el Invader número 1 no escatimaba, la paliza iba. Era el Invader y Carlos Colón, los babyface más grandes en Puerto Rico en aquel momento dado, que llenaban las casas. Y lo interesante de esto es que el Invader queda solo, no hay un compañero, no hay nadie en la esquina, y el Invader con su bien puesto se trepó el cuadrilátero contra estos dos locos, contra los Bushwhackers, y le dieron una paliza, solo, pero con mucho coraje, se trepó de arriba, le dieron una paliza. La máscara blanca del Invader quedó bañada en sangre y no había nadie en esa esquina, pero el Invader seguía peleando y los Bushwhackers le daban la paliza y seguían dando y seguían dando y seguían dando, y el público estaba furioso. Y de repente un ángel guardián llega en una ambulancia bañado en sangre y con un pedazo de madera 2x4. Sí, estamos hablando del acróbata de Puerto Rico, Carlos Colón, quien llegó al Coliseo de Caguas nuevamente al rescate de su compañero, el Invader número 1, quien estaba en el peor momento en aquel momento, recibiendo una paliza de los Bushwhackers o de los pastores de Nueva Zelanda. Llega allí el cuadrilátero, el Invader le da el de relevo y eso se quería caer. Carlos Colón conectó el primer puño, ¡guau! Y venía el otro, ¡guau! 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 Y el público en Puerto Rico, como su característico, ¡guau! Y se quería caer aquel coliseo con los golpes que conectaba a Carlos Colón, quien ya venía sangrando, quien ya venía destruido. Ellos salieron por ese odio de allí, pero esa fue su primera lucha, la de Luke Williams y Butch en el Caguas, en Puerto Rico, ante dos estrellas, las dos estrellas más grandes en aquel momento, Carlos Colón y el Invader número 1.